through my 20s, I worked at record labels, and it was mostly on the sales and marketing side, record stores, even product placement, setting up ads, things of that nature. So I always had this sense of wanting to make an impact to help these artists along, but I was always doing it on a fairly small basis. Started with walking into a record store and hanging a poster, and then it's setting up a certain sale at a chain as you get older and you start managing a team.
Right.
But it was still, I wasn't close to the creative process, and I wasn't really in a position to make a huge impact, at least to the way I would have liked to. So when I got to MTV, and I came there to create compilation CDs and do work on the movie soundtracks, and kind of built out from there to work with advertisers and learned how to take programming and mix it in with the advertisers. And so I had the off chance to start a music brand called Advance Warning. It was not a highly rated show and not a promoted show. It was called Advance Warning for the sheer fact that I wanted everybody to know, with the MTV brand, that whoever we put on this show is somebody they should check out. That, back then the brand still had some equity, as doesn't have it now. But at the time, a stamp of approval from MTV meant something. So as I was getting to know all the different people at MTV and growing this little brand that was just a monthly show that we got sponsored from Sony PlayStation to keep on the air for a little bit. Growing that brand, got an opportunity to get in front of McDonald's and pitch them to take the show globally. And so, for me, wanting to make an impact and what I want to do for students and lowering the cost of education, is similar to the impact that I was hoping to make, which was help these artists set up their career. And so, it ended up airing in 400 million homes in 159 countries, MTV globally. It was their first global sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
And I take a lot of pride in that, because it was really an effort of love. Like, I really wanted that opportunity to help, and randomly found myself in that position with an opportunity to spread the word on artists. So, when I think of my favorite projects, I think about impact. And when I think about impact, that story comes up for me, because it was my shot to help. And, I wouldn't say it made a difference in the world of music, but for me, it was my best chance to help and be that athletic supporter.
I think you're definitely underplaying the exposure that you gave to these art. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of different artists, right? That you ended up featuring on Advance Warning, and you gave them a visibility they otherwise never would have gotten. And yeah, having that MTV stamp of approval was, I'm sure, huge to so many of them.
Yeah, you know what? I couldn't believe I fell into this position where a few different things happened, and they're like, go forward with this show. You got to make sure it gets sponsored. So, having to work inside the factory to figure out how to make that happen on behalf of artists is something I'm proud of, and I enjoyed it, and I still love music. But, when I think about what we're doing now and what I was doing then, that's the thread for me, is like, I can make an impact here. I saw what you were doing. I saw how much money was being raised. I saw how people were participating. I saw the freezing of tuition, the grants being covered at Princeton, and so that to me is that's huge impact. And this is our opportunity to help people. And that's the thread that runs through that experience that I had there.